Minecraft has had some crazy glitches in its history. Some of these were so broken that they broke Minecraft. From duplicating millions of items for completely free to ways to get below the void in survival Minecraft. We'll be showcasing some of Minecraft's craziest glitches, starting with the best way to transport your villagers. Being able to get a proper villager setup can be essential to playing on SMPs or even your own world, but it can be a pain to get all of the villagers where you need them. The easiest solution is to transport 2 villagers by boat and breed them in your hole, or just base up at a village. But now you don't have to. You can make a rail system with this 1.19 duplication system. Normally, you would have to collect numerous resources to craft rails. Now, all you need are 2 rails, which you can craft very cheaply. You do also need a few other items, like these. You'll just need to find a proper place to put it, and once you do, you can build this machine. You just need to set up this simple observer piston system and place down your slime blocks. You want to also have a lever so you can stop the machine when you need to. And once you're done, it should look something like this. Then, you can duplicate the rails and make traveling with villagers way easy. Or if your focus is to set up farms, you can use this bone meal glitch to get nearly infinite bone meal. On Minecraft Bedrock Edition, bone meal has a unique function. If you try to bone meal grass with the bone meal, sometimes Minecraft won't consume one of them. If you do it slowly, you can get multiple uses off of the same bone meal. This lets you harvest various plants and things you can grow with the bone meal to compost. Basically, this means you'll end up with the same amount of bone meal or close to it every time. Another great way to get a lot of bone meal, or really any item including diamonds, is to head to the nether and find a baby piglin. Because of how Minecraft treats the interactions with piglins on earlier versions like 1.16.2, you can duplicate thousands of items. Unfortunately, you have to do this with a shulker, but on the bright side, you can still get very rich very quickly. To do this, make sure you have poison potions. First, make an area where you can put a baby piglin. Throw the little guy in a hole, then splash a bunch of potions on him until the poison stops taking damage. If he's no longer taking damage, this means he's half a heart. Then you can hand him your item. Once you've done this, you can throw some gold at him. This will cause him to pick it up and look at it, and if you kill him within a couple of seconds, he should drop a second shulker with the same items in it. Now you're rich. But for this next trick, you don't need to be rich. You can create secret base entrances and exits by crafting a boat. This lets you phase through walls entirely, and there's no way to tell that there's an entrance here. Well, unless you're using X-ray. And like you can phase through walls with a boat, you can phase through bedrock. If you head to the nether, place a ladder on the highest block and enter pearl through it while shifting, it lets you onto the nether roof. Just make sure you bring obsidian or you'll be stuck here. There are even tons of duplication glitches that you can use on non-multiplayer worlds, and this next one is one of those. Maybe you have a ton of rare items you want to duplicate. You can do this by gathering all of your items into a chest or shulkers and placing them all down. This trick is so easy that all you need are your items in the chest. Once you have all of your items, place them into that chest, but don't exit out of the menu yet. With the chest UI still open, you'll want to press Ctrl Shift and escape. And once you do this, you should find the open binary or Java platform. All you'll want to do is click on this and close it. When you log back into your world, your items will be duped. This is because Minecraft refunded your items thinking they were never placed in that chest, but also placed them in the chest, so you got double. You can do the same glitch with XP bottles to get experience. The easiest way is to get a bunch of XP bottles, store them into shulkers, or put them into that chest with the shulkers. Another great way is to get a bunch of maxed out armor and duplicate that. When you have a bunch of enchants on armor, grindstone it and it will give you more XP. So just place all the items in the chest, do the glitch, and then you'll have a bunch of XP bottles or armor that you can grindstone for XP. Speaking of XP glitches, on Bedrock Edition, there's a glitch that lets you consume XP from a furnace without smelting. To do this, place iron into a furnace and smelt it. Then you can place iron ingots from your inventory in the retrieval spot. If you do this repetitively, it tricks Minecraft into thinking you're getting a bunch of smelted stuff out of the furnace. Waddles, who showed this glitch originally, got to level 36 in under a minute by doing this. Or if you're looking for more technical glitches to do on Bedrock, you can use this X-ray glitch to find different ores and items in the ground. All you need is a slab, piston, grass block, thin layer of snow, and a spyglass or a potion of invisibility. Once you do this glitch correctly, it should push you into the ground in between the slab, allowing you to see through the blocks. But if you can't see very far, you can get a spyglass and use it to spot various items on the ground. However, you won't be able to see through the void. On the bright side, however, there is a way to get below the void. You can even build a base under there if you really wanted. Kind of. By breaking the bedrock at the bottom of the world, you can get under the void. You can even create temporary islands to live on. But to do this, you're gonna need TNT, pistons, obsidian, and a lever. You just want to find wherever you want to do this and place a piston down, facing up. To the right of this, you want to place an obsidian block and place a TNT on top of the piston, and a lever on the right side of the block. Then, you want to place a TNT below the lever and a trapdoor on the obsidian. In order to pull this off, you need to place a piston facing upwards. As the explosion goes off, in order to remove the bedrock below. To do this, you need to be one block tall using the trapdoor, and then you're going to flick the lever to activate the TNT. Then, you're going to spam click in the top right corner of the obsidian to place the piston facing upward. It's way easier with an auto clicker, so I recommend using one. When you do this, you should be able to remove the obsidian almost 100% of the time. But if you can't use an auto clicker, you have to hope you place the piston on time. If your ping is bad, you're gonna have a hard time doing this. But a different machine that's much easier to make is the Carpet Duper. It can be used used in different ways. It can be used as a lag machine because it can spawn millions of carpet, or it can be used to get carpet. The amount it produces is based on how large you make it, but make sure you turn it off because it can break chunks in your world due to lag and item drops. And we also have this repeating mineshaft seed. This type of world seed is called a repeating seed, and it's so rare that it's one of roughly a dozen Minecraft seeds that actually repeat all the way to the border. In this seed, there are various different mine shafts that are all connected. If you follow them all the way to the border, you'd probably land around 30 million blocks from spawn. Some of this world is so broken that hundreds of shafts are the exact same, with the exact same loot. If you loaded up a world like this and you walk through the mine shaft, do you think you'd even notice it at first? I sure as heck wouldn't. And because this world is on 1.17, the Y levels weren't expanded until 1.18, meaning if you go down to Bedrock in spectator mode, you'll be able to see all of it, and this seed isn't even the start of it all. There's a glitch that lets you fly with a boat, kind of. If you place down a boat on top of a slime and jump a bunch on the boat, getting in the boat will fling you to the air. This is extremely funny because you can literally fly really high using this glitch. You just need to be careful because it will be extremely hard to get down. But unlike the slime glitch, there was a glitch on Bedrock edition of Minecraft that would turn everything in your world to stone. Villages could still spawn, but the majority of the places that you could go before were turned into stone. The possibility of you beating the seed were now very close to zero. If you traveled far enough, you could probably find everything you need. The issue is that some of the stronghold pieces were placed with stone, but don't worry, some of the tricks I'm about to mention can be really useful. Like the trident. If you put loyalty on a trident, you can trigger redstone through walls. Like the button, which activates if you throw a trident at it normally. The best part about this is that it can also activate various other redstone triggers, so you can use this to mess with your friends in the right circumstances. You could use this for massive redstone traps, or even use it for pranks on your friends. But hear me out. If you want to prank your friends even better, there's a way to do that with fences and TNT. If you want to activate TNT, it would be kind of hard to hide it. If you were to hide in the ceiling and activate TNT that rained down on your friends, you'd be able to give them a good scare. Or you could even make a TNT cannon and shoot TNT up and through the fence. There would be almost no way to stop it, making for a really funny prank. Speaking of really funny tricks and pranks, there's a way to get thick mobs. By using a command block and typing out the gas animation command, you can force any mob around you to get larger because of how the gas animation works. This makes the mobs a lot thicker, and it can make for some really funny looking mobs. The only issue is that you need to have a command block. However, you could also just find texture packs that do this. Just make sure you get the right one. However, of the funniest glitches in Minecraft, the funniest one definitely has to be the TNT minecart. If you spam place a bunch of TNT minecarts onto the same rail, you create a chunk of explosions that can literally send you to space. By turning the game mode to peaceful, you can take very minimal damage. If you pair this with levitation and slow falling, you can literally hit hundreds of thousands of blocks in height. You can even take this to the next level and build a TNT water cannon that breaks the game. Or, if you're not great at redstone, another cool glitch you could do is to use the Ender Dragon to break the game. The Ender Dragon is one of the most powerful mobs and the last thing to conquer when playing the game. When you're fighting the Ender Dragon, you have to build up and break all the crystals one by one while trying to survive. Of course, it's not too difficult, and a lot of speedrunners have managed to kill this dragon in 10 seconds or less thanks to the use of beds. But you don't have to do any of that. By building up to Y144 directly above the center and placing an obsidian block directly above the middle, you can place water on top of it and break the game. The Ender Dragon will get stuck in the water and will try to swim up, but it is literally impossible. This is because the Ender Dragon tries to swim up, but the obsidian block is blocking her, making her sentenced to forever swim. And another glitch that literally broke the game through enchants, however, was in Minecraft 1.14. Normally, when you put a type of protection on an armor piece, Minecraft prevents you from layering an enchant of the same type onto it. So if you were to add projectile protection onto a diamond chestplate, grind for protection and try to put that onto the armor, you would not be able to. However, because of this bug, you can place multiple enchants of the same subtype onto every piece of armor you own, making you completely invincible to projectiles, kind of. It also reduces the amount of damage you take from fire and prevents complete obliteration of your health through explosions. This also stacked with the normal protection, amplifying all of these stats. Basically, this means that you were completely invincible to most things. The best part about this bug is that you are able to do more than just armor, and honestly, it's pretty easy to get protection for Minecraft. The easiest way to get it is by re-rolling librarian villagers until you get it, but there is a way to get protection 6 in Minecraft. This enchant is so rare, however, that it is literally impossible to get unless you're on 1.16. Because of this, the only way to get protection 6 is by using a skeleton horseman on that version. They can spawn with armor and often have enchants on them, and in this version, some of these mobs would spawn with glitched armor. Because of this, you can get random enchants if they drop something. However, just like it's pretty rare for a drown to drop a trident, it's also pretty rare for these mobs to drop gear. To make matters even worse, the chances of the armor being enchanted were low. So you'd have to get lucky enough for one to spawn in with enchanted armor, then also get lucky enough for it to drop it. The glitched armor piece that would spawn would have 2 protection 3 enchantment. It was confirmed to stack, making the armor piece have the same protection as protection 6. However, the only way to get an armor piece like this is to cheat it using a command block otherwise. From people building real life into Minecraft to a single player managing to get op and survival. Today, we'll we'll be showcasing some of Minecraft's most insane accomplishments. Starting with real life, Mr. has been known for pushing Minecraft to its absolute limits. They're most known for creating a circle in vanilla Minecraft, but recently they have been able to recreate things in Minecraft never thought possible, like this world. I am not kidding when I say that this is in Minecraft, but Mr. made it look so realistic that you can't even tell the difference. They managed to do this by reworking a lot of Minecraft files and changing textures. Unless you're some Minecraft genius, this is never happening again. Like this hole that was mine, it totaled over 21 million blocks. And the most insane part about this is that it was done in vanilla survival in just 4 hours. To put that into perspective, the previous record for this time was roughly 11 hours. And it was also done by people considered to be Minecraft's smartest redstone creators. Yet, these guys sliced that time into just a third of that. The craziest part about this is just how fast the machines they created actually were. For this to be possible, the machines had to mine 1,458 blocks a second. And another insane thing that happened was this trap. Usually, if you make a trap for a player, chances are, if they're alive in your trap, all they have to do is break blocks to prevent their death. But this player managed to create a trap that cannot be broken out of. This is because he used a block in Minecraft called the honeycomb block. The main advantage of the honeycomb is that it breaks at the same speed regardless of the type of tool or enchant used on it, meaning it would not matter what a player trapped inside used if the blocks were moving. This is because the block being moved meant that its break time would be reset. So no matter how many times you tried to mine it, you would fail. Unlike this streamer who didn't fail and actually beat Minecraft with the least amount of advancements possible. In Minecraft, there's an advancement for nearly everything, whether it's eating food, entering the nether, or even getting lava. To beat the game, there are various hurdles you have to conquer. So no matter what it is you're trying to do, there is an advancement for it. Because of this, it is so mind-numbingly difficult to beat the game with very few advancements. Yet, he managed to get less than 6. The craziest part of all of this is that he did it live. After hundreds of attempts, he finally managed to pull it off. But this next player only took a 1/10 of a second. Dom, a player most known for his ability to break world records, broke a record for the fastest time to grab an emerald. The previous record was roughly a 1/5 of a second, but Dom managed to beat it in a 1/10 of a second at a groundbreaking 133 milliseconds. I can't even begin to explain how insane this is. The average human's reaction time is between 150 and 300, but Dom clicked 3 buttons in less than that. But this next part took over 1 billion times that. A player by the name of Luigi Tone built a portal so massive it took 288 hours to mine all of the obsidian for it. The craziest part about this is that he did it all in survival and completely vanilla. But Minecraft doesn't have to be that complex. In fact, there's a player that beat Minecraft in super flat. But you're probably wondering, Bronze, beating Minecraft isn't that hard. Well, in a super flat world, there are no trees, there are no structures, and the ores available in this world are also basically zero. The items you have access to are much less than that of a normal world. But he managed to do it. However, like a lot of other exploits and ways to beat Minecraft that you can't do normally, uses a lot of glitches and exploits that aren't normally possible in the current versions of Minecraft. In fact, you would likely have to spend hours on end trying to beat the game this way. Like this Lego enchanting table that was built. The inventory actually used real life bricks to make it an exact replica of the one actually in the game. You're probably wondering if it works how it does in Minecraft. Yes, actually. In Minecraft, you have to have the proper amount of XP to enchant, as well as the proper enchants to do so. This Lego designer actually managed to make it so that it requires you to set your level, insert various items, and even set the enchants you want. It is a completely working enchanting table made out of Lego. However, in order to use this, you have to even have the required amount of lapis. And the little enchanting table will speak to you and tell you to give it lapis or it will explode. And like the earlier record from Dom, this one's just as outlandish. Dom attempted to break the world's fastest death possible in Minecraft. While this might not seem that hard, it's actually the opposite. In order to break this record, you would have to spawn on top of a place capable of killing you in either one hit or the smallest amount of time possible. In fact, there's actually invincibility when you first spawn in or create a world. And a couple of years ago, 2 world record holders were going head-to-head live on stream and didn't even realize it. One of them was at a world record pace to beat the fastest speedrun ever made. Literally everything he was doing was perfect. But the funniest part is a second speedrunner was almost identical to him. However, neither of them even realized this. But this did not stop both of them from setting a new world record just seconds from each other. What makes this even more amazing is that the second speedrunner actually beat the first. That is until he realized that when subtracting his load screen times, the first speedrunner actually had a faster time. But did you know it's actually possible to beat Minecraft from the void? Usually it's impossible to get below the void, and in order to do it in survival Minecraft, you'd have to build bedrock breaking machines and have an elytra to fly around. But Mudflaps actually found a snapshot that let you build and play from the void using glitch. He spawned on top of a bonus chest. This gave him various items he could use to actually play the game. From there, he built mob grinders and various farms that he needed. But you're probably wondering, how did he get to the end? Well, he waited several real-life days for villagers and wandering traders to spawn so that he could get diamond armor and obsidian. From there, he just beat the game like normal. And glitches like these aren't impossible either. In fact, there are hundreds of glitches that break the game, like this next one, that a player named Kolani used to put water in the nether. Since you play Minecraft, you already know water doesn't work in the nether. But what if I told you that it does? In old versions of Minecraft, there were various blocks that had extra functions, and because old versions of Minecraft processed these actions differently, a block like ice would spawn water in the nether because it didn't count as placing a bucket. Because of this, Kalani was able to create an ocean in hardcore and survival Minecraft. This is extremely insane because it breaks the laws of Minecraft. Just like this next person. Mr. Cat made real life in Minecraft, but Mr. Cat also made 2D inside of Minecraft. In order to make Minecraft 2D like this, they had to get pretty creative. Usually, 2D in Minecraft is just playing in a straight line and cutting the world in half. Not only did Mr. Cat play in a straight line, they folded the world view into 2D by forcing the player head to look in a specific direction and created custom models to flatten the platform they used in order to do this. So they had to create a sky texture and pull it forward in the file. This made an actual platformer look, and of the creators that tried it, they were all stoked. This game was really cool too. And you need to be a genius for this next part too. We've covered some of the glitches this player achieved in the past, like layer enchants of the same type onto the same armor. But this next glitch is so much more insane that he was the first and likely the last to ever do it. Spoke found a way to get up in survival Minecraft using some of Minecraft's most game-breaking exploits. Spoke actually found this on accident. In the 1.19 update, the glitch made it possible to log into 2 servers at once. You could interact in both worlds while still being able to chat in both as well. To expand on this, Spoke contacted 2 players that actually discovered this exploit. This event was so game-breaking, the Lifesteal SMP coined it wormhole. Because of this, Spoke was able to get infinite amounts of spawn eggs, break various different records using the exploits he had, and even use this wormhole to funnel hundreds of Minecraft players onto the server. And again, like earlier, Dom broke yet another insane record for finding COD. The previous record was by Cameron18 with a whopping 22 seconds. But Dom wasn't satisfied with that. After hundreds of tries, he found a new strategy that he knew could work to get better than that. Shipwrecks and buried treasure. Using this method, he conquered the record by timing in at an insanely fast 12 seconds, nearly halving the previous record. But even faster than that, there's a player who traveled hundreds of millions of blocks in literally 1 second. In fact, it was exactly 120 million blocks in a single second. This is equivalent to traveling the Earth 3 times or double the Minecraft map twice. He managed to do this using redstone engineering that reshaped the way we think about redstone in basic Minecraft mechanics. As you know, ender pearls let you teleport wherever they are thrown. But because of this, it's actually possible to throw ender pearls from the other side of the map using redstone. It's been used in many other eras of Minecraft. It was actually possible to set up redstone that could be activated from the other side of the map, and do that he did. In Minecraft, your render distance is limited to protect your frame rate. In the base version of Minecraft, the most you can render is up to 32 chunks, and this will likely already push your computer to its limit. Well, on Optifine, it's 64. But nope, the player managed to render everything, every single block. This was made possible by using a mod. Unfortunately, I'd rather not light my PC up like a bonfire, so I'll never be using that. Just like this build Kolani made in his world. Because Kolani is clinically insane, he built his entire overworld in the end, and it's pretty insane too. In Snapshot 13W36A for Java Edition 1.7.2, Dinnerbone added a super secret settings button. Imagine that you open Minecraft, load up your favorite world, and happen to stumble across this super secret menu. Not knowing what the heck it is, you would click it. But beware, clicking it would blare a random game sound with a lower pitch and change the shader of the screen. For the rest of the time until you rebooted, you'd have to play the game like this. However, these effects would not necessarily work on computers without a graphics card that supported OpenGL2. So because of this, Mojang ended up retiring. You can still access this, but it was removed in Snapshot 15W31A for 1.9. But did you know that there are a lot of video game references in Minecraft? You've probably seen the splash text in Minecraft that says also try Terraria, but you probably didn't know that this was added because of the Wither. When the Wither was originally being created, Minecraft devs decided to create the Wither spawn similar to that of bosses in Terraria. In Terraria, spawning a box would cause a charge up, and to summon a boss in Terraria, you'd have to collect various items to craft it. So the Minecraft devs made it so that you'd have to craft the spawn of the Wither. But there are a few other video game references in the game as well. You have probably seen the fan-made Pokemon game Pixelmon, but did you know there's actually an official Minecraft reference made by the devs in the game? In the first generation of Pokemon, there was a chance to encounter a Pokemon that wouldn't register. This created the infamous glitch known as missing number 1. Mojang wanted to implement this into their game, so they decided to add a way you could do this. In the game, every item that you can craft has a set of data determined. Similar to how the enchant data works, pickaxes have its own data based on what it can mine. As you should already know, wood pickaxes cannot mine iron ore and get drops. This is because of how Minecraft treats pickaxe data. There is a way to make a stone pickaxe mine diamond. Using the command /give, you can give yourself a pickaxe with the ability to mine diamond by altering the NPT data of the pickaxe and adding the mineable blocks as diamond through its block ID. Because of this factor, you can /give yourself a pickaxe that can mine blocks that aren't even in the game. For example, if I were to type /give and my username and then type in NBT data and set the mineable blocks to a block number that doesn't exist, it will then display its NBT data as handbrake missing number. And this is just like missing number 1 from Pokemon. However, there are things you can find in the game that aren't as hard to get. For example, in the game Age of Empires, there was a unit that could turn enemy units into its own color. Mojang slipped a variant of this into their game. If an evoker sees a blue sheep, it will turn it into a red sheep, uttering the word wololo. This is an exact reference to Age of Empires. To top this off, the sound used for this is specifically sourced from the 1999 title Age of Empires 2 Age of Kings, and these are pretty cool, but some of the secrets in this video are so insane you never would have guessed them. One of these facts is the original Minecraft textures. Minecraft's textures were the same way for many years. This was until Mojang decided to retexture everything in the game during the 1.14 update. This added newer, higher res textures for everything in Minecraft, and because of this, there are a lot of Easter eggs hidden in Minecraft's textures, but you wouldn't know it by just looking at it. In Minecraft's file system, there are a lot of different textures. Some of them actually have signatures from the creators, like the texture for the zombie pigment. Originally invented by McLee and designed by the texture creator Zophobia, Notch added the words "Thanks, Zophobia" in the files of the zombie pigment's texture. And this is the same case for the other mobs like the Guardian. Jeb's name is in the texture for it. The only way to know this, however, is if you open your Minecraft folder and look at the textures found in the jar files. But did you know there are texture Easter eggs? Almost every texture in Minecraft looks completely different, but Mojang actually reused a lot of textures. For example, when the first release of the Creeper was revealed, it was shown to have a very pixelated layout, similar to the leaves. This is because it was actually the leaves texture. It was literally retextured into the Creeper. Another texture that was used for repurposing was the arrow. Even though the arrow is extremely small, there are a lot of different layers of textures on it. Part of this texture was actually reused in the leash knot that's created when you tie a death to a fence, as well as banners being hidden in the shield texture. Because you can craft banners into shields, there's always a default banner texture hidden in the base shield. And the stripe, which was added in 1.10, wears a cloak. This cloak was actually created by using the chainmail texture as a base. Because of this, the cloak file actually still has the chainmail parts drawn in on parts that aren't utilized by the game. Another secret that not many people know is that Mojang created a way to spawn mobs that can't be obtained normally. During October 31st, mobs have a chance to spawn with pumpkins on their heads. Because of how spawns can work, these mobs can be extremely rare. There's a mob so rare that the chance of spawning it is 1 in 783 trillion. This isn't even to account for the fact that it needs to spawn on October 31st, as well as many other mobs that can spawn with pumpkins on their head. If you capture these mobs, you can get some unique and rare mobs for your world. But did you know on Minecraft Bedrock Edition, Mojang added a more advanced way to build in creative mode? Because there were a lot of players asking for better ways to build, there was actually a way to build that wasn't added in other versions. Whether it involves altering the terrain, introducing structures, or tweaking game rules, Bedrock Edition introduced an exciting addition known as Editor Mode. This lets you completely alter everything in your world without actually having to do it in creative. But this was only a small feature of the new stuff that was added. Years ago, there was a version of Minecraft released as a joke. This version of Minecraft was branded as Minecraft 2 and featured some of the most bizarre features Minecraft ever had. Damn, man. Some of these features were so outlandish that they were quickly removed after. Imagine mining a bunch of coal, crafting a coal block, placing it down, only for it to talk to you.
Hello there.
Well, that's one of the things Minecraft added. There were a few other things like redstone bugs, similar to the silverfish, and even a pink wither. But did you know there are items so rare you can't even get them anymore? For the occasion of 10 years of Minecraft's release on May 17, 2019, if you crafted a cake and placed it down, the cake had a big 10 placed like candles, and the only splash text that appeared was turning 10 years old. This was reverted to the way it was before on May 20th, 2019, and is unable to be seen again ever, even if you go back to 1.14.2 pre-2 and change the time to the device, meaning this event only happened once in the history of Minecraft, and no matter how hard you try to recreate it, you'll never be able to. Unlike this feature, which lets you wear items in the game. Several items when worn on the head using /item replace have unique placements. You can wear these items like cosmetics, and it makes for some fun gear. If you use an end rod, it is placed on your head like a unicorn horn, and it's the same with the spyglass, but you lose the ability to use it, while the lightning rod sits at the side like a snorkel. What makes this even funnier is that you can wear more than just blocks and items. If you wear a fish, it kind of looks like an ear of Mike piece, while banners display similar to how pillager captains wear them, or even fence gates, which are worn like glasses. And if you get bones and wear them, they are held in the mouth like a dog, while leads go around the eye like a monocle, and feathers stick up out of the back of the head. These are all cosmetics you can't obtain normally, but it's a pretty cool secret feature. But did you know, in the old Legacy Console edition of Minecraft Tutorial 12 to Tutorial 13 Tutorial World, there's a sandstone pyramid. In this pyramid, there are multiple floors. However, on the top floor of the sandstone pyramid, there are 4 blocks of gold and a block of obsidian. This is called the Tower of Pimps. Funny name. It was created by Gavin Free in the Achievement Hunter video, Let's Play Minecraft Part 2 on a Rail, and has become a symbol of the group's Let's Play Minecraft series, mainly as a trophy of their competitions in their Achievement City world with an Xbox 360 edition and Java edition. Speaking of console and Bedrock editions, did you know there are secret tricks you can use on Bedrock? You can actually name boats too. When anvils were first introduced, it added a unique way to give names to items. However, the only way to name entities was to get a name tag, and name the entity with a custom name on the name tag. But on Bedrock, if you were to name the boat and place it, Because it counts as an entity, you can let it keep its name without name tags. This makes it a lot cheaper to make. And another cool secret is that you can actually use the crafting grid as inventory space. If you turn touchscreen mode on, it lets you put items in your crafting grid using the numbers on your keyboard. You don't even need a touchscreen device either. This way you can easily add more items to your inventory. Next, you probably didn't know that there are secret languages in Minecraft. No, I'm not talking about enchanting table languages. You can change the language in your game settings, and there are multiple different joke languages. Some of these options are Pirate Speak, Lolcat, Shakespearean English, English, which is puristic English, and I don't know what that says. Next, did you know that there was a hinted camel Easter egg? As you may already know, there are a lot of different Easter eggs in the game that let you do various different things. Like naming a mob dinner bone makes the mob go upside down. And that you can also get a rainbow sheep like this. There are numerous Reddit posts about it, all speculating what the camel was. Some tried adding a name tag to camels and trying different names of developers and tried various other things. But so far, no one's been able to find it. And if you happen to find the camel Easter egg, you should comment it down below because you just found a rare secret. Oh, and while you're at it, make sure you subscribe. Did you know there's a feature in Minecraft only available to one player? That player is Deadmau5, or Deadmau5. But it's not the way you think. When Minecraft capes were first invented, a cape was given out to one player, and one player only, for inventing the zombie pigman. However, it was later revoked because of how angry all the players were. Unfortunately, this player never got his cape back, and instead, it was released publicly. At the same time, capes were released. Notch also added ears for Deadmau5, or Deadmau5. I'm just gonna call him Deadmau5. The ears are vanity items that are worn in addition to the player's skin. With the texture contained within Deadmau5's skin, the best part about this is that Deadmau5 cannot disable his own ears. The ears are set to show up based on his username rather than the UUID of the player, meaning that if Deadmau5 were to change his username, he would not keep his ears. Instead, someone else would probably get them. The ears were created as a translucent part of his skin, which was automatically converted into a black color. His name tag is also programmed to render 10 pixels higher to be above the ears. Imagine if we all got our own custom vanity items when the capes were made. That'd be pretty cool. Speaking of capes, there is a way to print secret messages onto them. If you have a cape, normally only the front, sides, and bottom are shown. But if you catch the angle right, you can see under the cape. Because of this, a lot of players decided to make secret messages hidden under their cape. For example, the translator cape has a big pink T on the other side, while the Chinese translator cape actually has the Chinese flag on it. And a player by the name of Cheap Shot with a 0 has a small Japanese flag on his. These capes are already rare because they were given out as a gift for helping translate. With the special markings and various different features, these are a lot more rare. But the most rare cape of all of these is the Million Customer Cape. It was only given out to one person, and that was the 1 millionth player who purchased Minecraft. The cape actually has a special design on the other side too, which is honestly pretty cool. It's kind of similar to the birthday cape, which has a small star on the other side. Starting with Technoblade. He started out as your average YouTuber, but quickly became popular through his personality and his Bed Wars ability.
Now's a good time to practice the recorder.
His most notable achievement, however, was being able to complete a win streak so insane that it is still unbeaten to this day. There isn't a single player who can break that record. Not because they're worse, but there are players who will specifically prevent you from breaking that record. The instant they see you rising to beat Techno, they'll snipe you out of your game. Rightfully so. Techno unfortunately passed a year ago, and as he was so influential in the Minecraft community, he completely transformed the space. One of these instances was when he completely dominated Skyblock leaderboards by getting as many potatoes as he possibly could. This inspired many other creators and players to do the same. Even though he may be gone now, he lives on through the content of others. Techno never dies. And with all the recent changes being made in Minecraft, some things change, never to return. For years, Minecraft has had and utilized a subreddit centered around Minecraft. Developer Sliced_Lime has decided that it would be best to cease use of the subreddit, which has come to a surprise to a lot of players. Without this subreddit, Minecraft will never be the same. I mean, for years and years, tons of content was posted here. Whether it was glitches, insane builds, or world records, you could find it all here. Yet, soon it will all be gone. Mojang decided that the direction Reddit was heading was not what Mojang intended. This subreddit has been a cornerstone of Minecraft, and this decision could destroy Minecraft's history. Without this Reddit, we probably wouldn't even know about some of the craziest things discovered in modern Minecraft. Like Dom, who has posted to this subreddit numerous times over the past years for his ability to shatter records. Over a span of 2 years, he has broken over 200 world records, some of which can no longer be broken again. With hundreds of hours spent and millions of runs attempted, Dom is hands down the only Minecraft player to hold over 100 world records at once. He set the stage for world record speedrunning outside of genuine speedrunning, his most notable achievements being his conquering of 22 world records in 24 hours. The only other people who hold as many records as Dom are players who devote their entire lives to breaking records. Personally, I can't even speedrun Minecraft without dying to dumb stuff, but this guy beat Minecraft with his mind. If I can't even beat it normally without getting wrecked, I definitely couldn't beat it with brainwaves. And the next player on our list is the entire reason cosmetics were added to the game. Yeah, Really, if it weren't for this player's sacrifice, caves might have never existed in the game. This player is McLean. When Minecraft was still being developed, Mojang was still very open to suggestions from the community. Similar to how mob votes work currently, Notch loved to take on ideas from the community. As a result, McLean's suggestion for the zombie pigmen was eventually actually added to the game. This led to probably one of the most unfortunate events ever to happen in Minecraft's history. However, because of this, the way Minecraft's cosmetic system operated changed forever. Minecraft's caves were originally introduced in 2010 under its original name, Cloak. That was the official release. The first cave in Minecraft was actually added before that, and it was given the name the Bacon Cave. That's where the problem started. All of the fans were jealous. It was later removed due to many people asking for their own custom cave. Because so many people were jealous of McLean's cave and began harassing Notch for their own, but his sacrifice changed Minecraft forever. Rest in peace, McLean. And the influence these next players had were so influential that I couldn't just give them one category. This is because of what Minecraft's entire purpose is. If you go to anyone and ask them what their favorite part of Minecraft is, they'll probably tell you that they enjoy playing with their friends. In the early days of Minecraft, it was simple. There wasn't a whole lot to do, but still so much to do at the same time. Because of this, there were a lot of players who sought more. This brought about the age of Minecraft minigames. And shortly after the release of the movie The Hunger Games, a plugin called Survival Games was added to Minecraft. This single addition changed the way Minecraft servers were forever. The hype was so immensely insane that it made Minecraft one of the most popular games ever made. Which brings us to the creators. People like Beige and the Canadian, Captain Sparkles, and even Jerome ASF. These guys pioneered Minecraft. There were so many other notable creators, but these three are most known for their gameplay and introductions to Minecraft Hunger Games. And it didn't just stop there. Of these three, two of them even went on to become cornerstones of Minecraft history. This is because of their Minecraft parodies. Songs were extremely popular and a great way to connect to your viewers. Beige and Canadian was one of the people who gained popularity through Minecraft Hunger Games, even went as far as creating one of the most viewed Minecraft videos of all time. The video he made was a song in a tribute to Minecraft Hunger Games. From here, Minecraft content was never the same. Left and right, people were making content similar to these guys, but Captain Sparkles continued to stand out. He eventually went on to create probably one of Minecraft's most recognizable parodies. Don't Mind at Night. Okay, I'm just kidding. Revenge, parody of Usher's DJ Got Us Falling in Love, blew up. Have you ever heard the catchphrase Creeper? Aw, man. Yeah, that's where this came from. And again, it didn't stop there. He made yet another series that broke YouTube, The Fallen Kingdom. Hit after hit, Captain Sparkles continued to create some of Minecraft's best and most notable songs. And this isn't even the start of it all. Some of these records are so insane that you can't even comprehend it. Speedrunning was a category of gameplay that got so popular in Minecraft that niches were built around it. From early 2014 to even modern Minecraft in its prime, record after record was broken. But one player was so determined to flip this on its head that he attempted the world's first and final slowest speedrun ever, until someone came and broke it. But Lost Boy 162 started this run like any other person, except his only goal was to take as long as possible to beat Minecraft. The best part about this is that he was able to go about his normal life while streaming. Whether it was taking 20 minutes to mine out a block of wood or an hour to find a structure, he continued to rack up time from 24 hours to 50 hours until he eventually creeped up to the 120-hour mark. Eventually, Lost Boy 146 finished the speedrun at a groundbreaking 120 hours. The funny part is that he had to submit the speedrun, and someone actually had to sift through this stream. I feel so sorry for the guy who had to do that. And I also feel sorry for this player, who set the longest confirmed hardcore world ever to exist until recently. Filza is a player who became known for his hardcore series. In the years of his hardcore world, he created massive builds and conquered many different scenarios. But what makes this even more amazing is that he did this all without totems. Until one day, while streaming, Filza ended up being killed by a baby zombie. This coined the term being Filza, and this single event sparked some of the largest hardcore influences ever made in Minecraft. And it's all because Filza blew himself up because of this event. From then on, thousands of players made videos of them looting their hardcore world. And altogether, videos like these garnered over 10 billion views or more. But did you know there were blocks supposed to be added to Minecraft that were removed because of a single person? Well, when Mojang first introduced this 1.3 update, it added a mineral called Ruby. The addition was great. I mean, a lot of players loved it. This was until Mojang ran into its first problem with it. Players who opened Minecraft for the first time hit the mines and found Ruby would often mistake it for redstone. But what actually happened was the people with color blindness could not tell the difference. One of Mojang's very own developers, Dinnerbone, who was completely colorblind, actually noticed this serious issue with this addition. While the actual designs were fairly different when finding these ores as raw materials, the colors were almost the exact same. So if you were mining, trying to find redstone and only managed to find ruby instead, it would be a bit annoying. As a result, Mojang almost immediately removed the ruby ore and replaced it instead with emerald, which is honestly better than ruby, kind of. While ruby looks cool, we already had a red block in substance. Having a cool green block was even better. But I have a question for you. Of all the players in Minecraft, who do you think had the most influence on the current PvP system? Was it A, Technoblade, B, Dream, C, C, fruit berries, or D, Joe Biden. If you said Joe Biden, you're correct. It was Dream. Contrary to how much people hate Dream, it's actually true that he completely changed the way people viewed 1.9 plus PvP. When the PvP update first dropped, no one liked it. And I literally mean no one. Everyone hated it. It was the worst thing ever to be added to Minecraft. Because of this, over the next few months, Minecraft saw its first massive decline. There weren't a whole lot of things happening, and fast forward into early 2019, Minecraft saw its first rise in popularity again since its first initial. Because of SMPs like SMP Live, Minecraft was slowly making a return. Minecraft Mondays also helped build towards this popularity. But eventually, Minecraft saw a decline again. This was until the introduction of Minecraft UHC and Minecraft Manhunt. But you're probably thinking, oh, Dream always did Minecraft Manhunt. But actually, no. He took the idea from someone else and just made it better. But that's what was so smart about this content. Minecraft was at a point where no one liked the combat system. Everyone still played Bed Wars and things on 1.8. And because of this, Dream had room to take over. There were other creators doing PvP content, but none of them were doing story-like content as good as Dream. Dream eventually posted Minecraft Manhunt videos. Because of all the exciting fight scenes and exhilarating risk, he quickly began gaining popularity. It shined a new light on Minecraft PvP content. Instead of the old usual sweats, it moved people's attention from the old nostalgic PvP to the new, slower, and riskier form of combat. People actually started to enjoy Axe PvP. Of course, 1.8 is still booming, and a lot of people still prefer 1.8, but if Dream hadn't shown light on 1.8, Minecraft PvP probably wouldn't be as popular as it is today. The Bottle of Entity. With the extremely complex mob system in Minecraft today, players have created insane mods that allow you to turn into other creatures in the game. But Mojang actually proposed an idea to do that in vanilla back in the alpha and survival tests. The items were called Bottles of Entity. They were extremely rare items that let you transform into a mob when splashed or consumed. It completely depended on the type you crafted, but you could turn into different mobs. Of course, in the older days of Minecraft, you had a limited selection, but turning into mobs was such an amazing and unique concept. This was even added later on in one of the April Fool's updates. And the most insane part about this was the fact you could turn other players into mobs. I mean, just look at me. And it didn't just stop there. For every potion in the game, there is a variant of it called the Splash Potion. In some cases, transformation into an entity will lead to some cool effects. For example, transforming into a chicken will allow you to glide slowly to the ground like feather falling. The chicken will, however, take fall damage upon landing, killing it and transforming the player back to themselves, which is extremely cool considering that this is basically an extra life. Plus, you could pick which mob you transformed into by crafting it. Transforming into an Enderman would give the player the ability to be teleported randomly when a projectile is aimed at it, or when they're being looked at by other players. Transforming into any mob capable of flight, for example a bat, will allow the player to fly in survival mode as if they weren't created. But Mojang had made it so that it could not be undone normally. After all, Minecraft is all about the ability to craft. So how exactly could it be undone? We have Dragon's Breath in a bottle, and even water in a bottle. Mojang proposed an idea to add an item called Bottle of Void. Just like you could walk up the water and bottle it, you could do the same thing with the Void. And this item is a special bottle to transform back to the original player. Right-clicking with it on a transformed player will remove the transformation and convert the bottle into a bottle of the entity. You could pretty much just steal someone else's transformation, which would have been a really cool addition. Although, this next one is a bit questionable. Imagine pulling up to an SMP with a baguette and just smacking someone with it. You would make the French proud. But what makes this even funnier is that the weapon was basically useless. You'd be better off with a stone sword. This is because its stats are identical to a wooden sword, though La Baguette cannot be used to fuel furnaces. While this addition is really funny, it's not exactly practical. The monster spawner has been in the game since update 0.9.0, and while you can't obtain one in survival, there was an item almost added to Minecraft that would have made this possible. In recent updates, Mojang added chests into boats, creating an entity that could hold items. We already had the chest in the minecart, which is why Mojang likely rejected the idea to put mob spawners in the minecarts. While I do think chests are extremely useful in mineshafts, I think having a mob spawner would be a lot cooler. You could bring it up to the surface and use it for really whatever you want. I can guarantee that Minecraft farms would be millions of times more efficient if this were actually in the game. And it doesn't stop there. We missed out on some of the coolest things that could have been added to Minecraft. We've had plenty of mods added to the game that expanded on Minecraft's technical side, but Mojang was already 2 steps ahead. I'm not really sure why they ended up scrapping the idea, but cogs and gears were in Minecraft at one point during Minecraft Alpha. Gears briefly appeared in Minecraft playtest, but they've been absent from the game since then. Mojang's intentions with Minecraft were to try and keep the game fairly simple, which is totally understandable. But I firmly believe Mojang should bring gears back to a Minecraft update. An update centered around the addition of machines and the ability to craft things that players can build with with the help of refined metal would work wonders for the technical side of Minecraft. A lot of people like to argue that Minecraft is good because of its simplicity, but one of Minecraft's key features is redstone, one of the most complex things ever to be added to the game. Honestly, I'm kind of sad we didn't get a machine update, because these next few items could have changed the game forever. Between Pocket Edition version 0.1 Alpha and Pocket Edition 0.2 Alpha, there was an unused item texture resembling a handheld camera, right next to the texture for the actual camera entity. I think it would have been a cool replacement for the ability to screenshot in game, or even better, to add this as an addition to Minecraft screenshots. This way you could get little Steve selfies, and it would have been really cool. However, these textures haven't seen any use, and they've been long since disappeared after the console and mobile editions were all branded as Bedrock. And honestly, I'm not unhappy this other item didn't make it into Minecraft. Don't get me wrong, crystallized honey is cool, but I don't really see a purpose for it in Minecraft. I think Mojang soon realized this as well, because crystallized honey is an unused item in Java Edition. No one really knows why it was added or what it would have been used for, but based on what it's for, I can assume it would have been used for waxing, which would have been just as cool as what we have in the game now. In Minecraft, we have various items like the arrow, which has had its textures used in various other parts of the game, like the lead. But there was a version of the arrow called the purple arrow, which was first seen when it was shot by a skeleton in survival tests. The only time we ever saw these arrows were in the survival test itself, and as far as we know, they acted the same as regular arrows, but could not be picked up. And if you've been playing Minecraft long enough, you should already know that there are features only available on Java that aren't available on Bedrock. You've seen this before when bugs were introduced on Bedrock that allowed you to name boats like mobs or like items only available on Java. A great example of this is the copper horn. Similar to the goat horn, they took 1 second to use and had a 4-second cooldown. However, unlike the goat horn, these were exclusive. Because of this, there were 10 variants of copper horn, and each of them played 3 different sounds: when looking up, crouching, or neither of those. In total, there were 30 different sounds that could be played using copper horns. There were so many combinations you could play with this, and it made for a great system for the goat horns. And if you haven't already, you should subscribe. We'll be continuing to post content like this in the future, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as this wax block. Okay, maybe it's not that amazing. This texture was removed in 19W42A, as it was never actually intended to be used. Why did Mojang add this to the game to remove it? No one knows. Minecraft's proposals and attempts at various vanity items in the game has often produced some pretty cool looking results. Of course, not everyone liked all the additions to Minecraft, like the Phantom. However, the addition of the axolotl was a hit. Before the aquatic update, there weren't very many water mobs. This was even more apparent in caves, where the only real way to see water mobs was if you found a squid, or fish if you were lucky enough. But one of the greatest mobs ever added to Minecraft is definitely the axolotl. I mean, just look at the little guy. They swim, eat fish, and yeah, that's it really. And this green variant of the axolotl was very close to being added to the game. Apparently, the blue axolotl is the rarest axolotl variant, but the green one could have been even more exotic. But dirt definitely isn't exotic. It's one of the most common blocks in the game. In fact, there's an average of 1,850 dirt per chunk. But there is a dirt variant that was never added to the game, making it the rarest variant of dirt. Like there are already other variants of slabs in the game, dirt slabs were added in survival test 0.26 in an attempt to make nicer hills, but they instead made hill generation mess up. Notch just decided to remove them instead of trying to fix them. But did you know that Minecraft used to be similar to an MMO? The game is centered around the ability to craft, mine, and build. However, in an early in-dev version, the player could open the inventory screen and view their name and 3 stats: attack, defense, and speed. When they were in the game, they didn't even serve a purpose and existed only briefly. When asked, Notch stated that he could not remember exactly why they were implemented and subsequently removed. In 12W50A, a texture named skis.png was added to the game. It was released close to Christmas of 2012, meaning this texture was likely decided upon due to the time of this update's release. The texture was never actually intended to be used, which sucks because it would have been really funny to hit some sick tricks mid-air while skiing in Minecraft. Although we already have various different traveling methods in Minecraft, adding some one-off unique methods would be cool. And you may have already seen the moon, which is a joke dimension that can be accessed by flying up to y = 700 in the overworld in one of the April Fool's updates. The moon has a weak gravitational pull, so weak in fact that at certain heights the player will be pulled back to Earth. The player's oxygen also decreases on the moon, though much slower than in water. Cheese, which makes up almost the entirety of the moon, restores both hunger and oxygen, allowing the player to survive here. In InfDev, an image called fluff.png was added to the file. It was used for clouds, but was later removed during the beginning of alpha. This texture was a bit more complex than the one we have now. With all the new blocks being added to Minecraft, Mojang finally added a variant of the bamboo rod to bamboo block. They look really good when paired with some of the other blocks, but they can be annoying to craft in large amounts. They cost costs 9 bamboo per block, and 1 block crafts 2 planks. So if you're going to build with a lot of bamboo, make sure you have this farm. There are several variants, but we'll be starting with the simplest version of it. To make this, you're going to need to craft 8 observers, 8 pistons, 8 redstone, 36 blocks, 2 chests, 8 hoppers, and 8 mud. For anyone on Bedrock, this version won't work, and you'll have to make a minecart system to retrieve all the items. But for now, you need to place a double chest and 2 hoppers feeding into it. That way, it can catch all of your items. From the chest, there should be 2 rows of hoppers that end up with 4 each for a total of 8. This will be your base. Thankfully, in this update, mud blocks exist. Unlike in previous updates, this block lets you slip items through it. There were never blocks as useful as this. You could find a loophole to use water to collect items and stuff, but now you can just place the block. On Bedrock, you can't, so you'll need to figure out another way. But just place your mud blocks down on your hoppers. Then from each side, place blocks around the radius of the mud so that you have a box. Then you're going to plant the bamboo on the mud. This is because the bamboo being broken goes through the mud into the hoppers. Then on each side, you want to place pistons. When placing these, make sure you put your pistons facing outwards. This is to push the bamboo and break them. On top of each of the pistons, place observers. Then on each side on the level of the piston, you need to place 1 block out and put connecting redstone on top of it. Cover the front and the back of the build with glass to hold the bamboo. Then place slabs on the top to completely cover the farm. This is so the bamboo doesn't actually grow out of the box. This will be perfect for keeping everything inside and contained. Now, if you need even more bamboo, you can just expand on this farm. I'd personally expand in 8s so you have a consistent amount of blocks. The materials I said at the start were for a single segment of this build, so if you want to expand, you can. But with this next farm, it automatically farms everything for you. This is great for consistency and being able to do your own thing in the game while this collects for you. The only downside is that this thing is expensive. It uses a slime block system to gather everything for you. For materials, you're going to need 3 stacks of pumpkins, 2.5 stacks of rails, 27 powered rails, 9 pistons, 2 stacks and 48 of sand, 12 slime block, 2 observer, 2 sticky piston, 2 obsidian, 2 redstone lamp, 2 pressure plate, 2 hopper, 2 chest, a redstone comparator, a redstone repeater, redstone torch, and minecart hopper. You're going to also need a lot of building blocks too, so make sure you get them. First, place a double chest in the ground and 2 hoppers connecting into it. Going out of the hoppers on the outside of the farm, you're going to place a comparator. Then, you're going to put a solid block right in front of it. Make sure you place a redstone and a block above it. Same with above the redstone stuff. Then, place a redstone repeater between the 2 blocks. This will lock the minecarts on top of this area to unload all the items. When it does this, it will leave and go back around. Next, you'll need to build the collection rails area. It's going to be 22 by 8 with rails. So, you'll need to place all the rails around the farm and make it so that the entire area I mentioned reaches to and around this repeating rail. When setting the lineup, there are some things you can do, but you absolutely need powered rails. Using redstone blocks in the direct middle of every line, placing 2 powered rails for each, make sure the minecart actually reaches the next line, so that way you can keep transporting items. If your cart is stopping, you need to make sure you put more of these. When you get to the last row all the way to the end, you're going to need to place the powered rail, place a block going into it, you can just put it now. Now, you just need to build a planting area. To make things easier, we're going to start the farm on the second hopper and make it 8 blocks wide, then 22 blocks long. Basically, you just want to cover the entire area as great as you can. After you fill it all the way in, your platform is done. However, before you build the walls and everything else, you need to build a flying machine. To do this, place some blocks on the edge around the farm. Make sure there are a block that isn't a slime interactive block. This is so the slime will not stick to the blocks as you're building the machine. Afterwards, place slime blocks at the front of the farm on top of the blocks you build to prevent the slime from sticking. In total, you'll have a row of 9, and on the rightmost slime block, you'll place a slime block behind it. Then, to the right of the slime block, you'll need to place an observer looking away from you. To make things start working, you'll need to add a sticky piston facing towards you. You can connect 2 slime blocks onto the sticky piston. Then, you'll need to get on the other side of it and build an observer facing the direction you just were, and a sticky piston facing in. Now, be careful, because if you start this machine now, it will go on endlessly, and if you don't put a way to stop it, it will just not stop. If you want a way to stop the machine, using obsidian is great. So, on the opposing side, you'll need to put an obsidian block. If you do want to place the obsidian block to stop it on the opposite side, to do this, place a few temporary blocks out like this. So that way you're 4 blocks away from the leaves, and then you want to go out 2 to the right. Then, you can remove all the obsidian blocks you placed except for the last one. Then, on the left side of the obsidian block, you can place a redstone lamp. This is to make the mechanism move. You'll know you're doing it correctly when the slime block arms stop on the leaves on the farm. Next, we're going to build some walls to prevent the bamboo from breaking. Generally, I don't recommend fully closing this area because bamboo won't grow in the dark. You can light it up, but it's easier and cheaper to have sunlight. When building this wall, make sure you don't have too many gaps because it makes it a lot easier. If you have more gaps, more bamboo will get out. Prevent the flying contraption from breaking, make sure you leave a line of open area for the machine to work. Then when you do that, this farm is fully finished. All you have to do now is just place all the bamboo you need. Make sure you don't miss any spots. Bamboo doesn't place in the center, so make sure you right click all of the blocks. Then make sure you put the hopper in the minecart. The easiest way to start it is to place it against the block with the powered rail on it. Now you're going to need a way to actually get the flying machine to trigger. To do this, make sure you have pressure plates on the redstone lamp. You also have a couple of options. You can use a mob that will walk around on it, or you can use a daylight sensor. Make sure you build this little room in non-stickable blocks to prevent the machine from breaking. The room has to be 3 blocks long. Now, when you place a mob, it's probably best to use a villager or a cow. I don't recommend using chickens because they drop eggs, and that can trigger the pressure plate. Now, you have a fully automatic bamboo farm to build all of the blocks you need, which is great. But let's be realistic. With every update, there are new things to add or change about old farms to make them more efficient. In this case, we'll be looking at this iron farm designed by Waddles. Well, the other farms were also designed by Waddles. But it uses new mechanics and blocks from the recent 1.20 update. It's fully automatic, and you don't even really need a name tag. To build this, you're gonna need 3 beds, a bamboo raft or some kind of boat, 12 signs, 2 chests, 9 hoppers, a lava bucket, 3 torches, 21 wall blocks, 4 stair blocks, 3 stacks of building blocks, and just make sure it's not something that can light on fire. Then you'll need 3 villagers, a zombie, a piston, a redstone block, and a job block. When you look to find a place to build this farm, it should be a place that will be loaded in consistently. The best choice is probably your base, or even just somewhere that'll just be loaded in all the time. If your server has preloaded chunks, then you should be okay, but it's better to be in the same area as this so it produces iron. Building the iron farm too high up isn't good, because you risk unloading it and ruining your iron farm's rates. To start, you'll want to build 10 to 20 blocks above the ground. Higher is better. This is to control how the iron golems spawn. Once you do this, you're gonna build a small staircase up from the block. This is to get the zombie and the villager into the farm. Next, that first block you towered up to, you're gonna place 3 temporary blocks and build a 3x3 platform on top of it. After you remove it, you'll then place 2 blocks at the back away from the cobblestone staircase, and when you're looking at it from the front, another block to the left. Then you'll want to place a boat or a raft down. After you do this, when it's nighttime, make sure you have a zombie ready to put in this boat. Just walk up the staircase with the zombie aggroed onto you. Then you can walk right over the boat and onto the glass block. This will make the zombie walk right into the boat. It's likely best to light the rest of the area up to prevent any more spawn. When you do this, you're gonna need to put the zombie in the box, but you'll probably notice that you can't place any blocks because of the boat hitbox. Well, you can use a piston and a redstone block. With a 1 block gap in between each, build out a few blocks. When you do this, 3 blocks is fine. When you do this, you can use a piston and a redstone block like this to push the glass into place. Now your zombie should be covered. Then you can just completely finish this box. That way the zombie won't escape. Next, on those 3 sets of blocks you made before, you're gonna place a bed on each side. This is so that you can spawn the villagers. The beds have to be placed towards the zombie. This is extremely important, so make sure you do that. Then you can build walls for each individual villager. When building these, you need to make sure you're making the walls 3 blocks high. In each of the villagers' rooms, you're going to place a torch on the 3rd block above the beds. Light blocks are fine too. The whole point of this is to make sure spawns don't happen. The next thing you can do is get your villagers inside, so you'll probably need a minecart system, or if you want to spare time, you can use workstation. Just make sure you widen the bridge to make it easier for the villagers to get in and out. These can be a little annoying, since sometimes they'll just walk away and ignore everything, but this way the villagers will actually go where you need them to. When you manage to lead them up the stairs and into their boxes, you can break the workstation block. The next step is to build the spawning platform. The first step is to replace the 3 blocks closest to the original staircase we built with stair block. From the staircases in the middle, go 2 blocks out. It should be roughly 6 blocks long and 8 blocks wide roughly after you finish. This way it covers almost all of the top of the farm. Then the next thing you'll need to do is place wall blocks on the corner. Make sure the corners do not connect. Then you'll want to go along every side of the platform. This way you can completely cover the platform. However, the only part you want to cover is where the staircase will be. This is to let the iron golem fall down into a part which we'll build later. Then after you've built the walls, at the entrance to the platform, you'll want to place signs and connect them all to the block staircase. The next thing you'll need is a water bucket. When you do this, place water in the back left corner and the back right corner. This will make the farm push the iron golems to spawn forward and into the pit. The next thing you'll want to do is probably remove the staircase. You don't have to remove the entire thing, but it will be in the way. Then from the zombie's chamber, right below the first block, you're going to want to place blocks all the way down to the ground and set up a chamber. You'll want to leave 1 block that you use on the ground and dig into the ground by 2 blocks in a 3x3 area. Here, you're going to place a hopper into the wall and connect a bunch of hoppers together, directly under the farm, against the middle hopper and on the back third. You're going to place a double chest like this. Above the chest, place a slab or a staircase so you can still open the chest. So in the chamber, you're going to leave the bottom layer open, but around the outer edge of the farm, you're going to place signs around the entire inside. Connect all the signs for a total of 9. The idea is to create a sign floor to catch the lava. After this, you need to place a lava bucket on the middle sign. Then you're basically finished. The only thing you need to do left is to make sure the villagers sleep and register to the beds you place in their boxes. Then when you do this, you need to go to the part of the farm where blocks connect in the middle and remove the blocks blocking the zombie and villager from seeing each other. The goal here is to make it so the villagers' eyes and the zombie's eyes can see each other. This will make it so that the villagers freak out and panic. This is how you'll get the iron golems to spawn. All 3 villagers have to panic for the iron golems to spawn. And now you're probably wondering how the zombie won't despawn. Well, because the zombie's in a boat, it won't despawn. However, if for some reason that boat breaks, the zombie could despawn. So if you really want to be safe about it, you can just put a name tag on them. But you're done. These 2 farms I showed with the bamboo and the iron farm are 2 essential farms from Minecraft 1.20. The beauty of the bamboo farm earlier is that you can use these for trades as well. Once you actually finish all the bamboo blocks you need or whatever, you can craft sticks with the bamboo. It is a little expensive, but this farm is going to constantly produce. So all you really need to do is collect them and craft them into sticks. Then you're done. And if you enjoyed enjoyed these two farms, make sure you subscribe and click the video on screen now. I promise you'll enjoy. Bye!